Hi guys, welcome back to Vedic Astrology. Today I've come up with a very interesting, hopefully interesting and a different video where I'm going to be combining numerology with Vedic astrology, and we are going to be seeing that what is the best period or periods within our lifetime which gives us tremendous opportunity to make a lot of wealth and money. uh, it is of deep interest to me because I was experimenting with this for the last few days, and I was trying to see this entire experiment across multiple charts for myself, within my family and friends and community. And I thought it might be a good idea now to release this video and the research that I've done, and hopefully you guys can also experiment and check this. I'm gonna give you about 6 steps in the next few minutes, and it is very, very important for you to watch each of these steps. And I'm gonna be doing the calculation live on a piece of paper myself, so it is not prepared. I have taken an arbitrary, birth chart, and I've taken some two examples. I'll actually be running in this video with one example itself. What I would recommend you is that you also pick a pen and paper, and then do the calculations along with me. If you need to work with your pace, please feel free to pause the video and make sure that you are able to assimilate and understand each of the points. And then, basis this calculation, we will arrive at the conclusion as to what is the best time period in your birth chart specifically, when you could see the right pointers to make good amount of wealth or good amount of money. Okay, so before we get started, what we're going to do is we are going to quickly look into one of the chart. And again, this is a sample chart. Please, I cannot even validate the authenticity of it because I literally created it by myself. And I've randomly put planets anywhere. So if there is any errors with that, I sincerely apologize, because it's not something that I've picked from any individual. And I particularly wanted to refrain from doing that and just focus on these 6 steps in the next few minutes. Okay. So you guys will see now on your screen, I've taken an example of a Libra chart. And this person has Saturn. I just took the transitory position of the Saturn, which is in Aquarius in the fifth house. Rahu and Ketu again in the transitory position itself, in the sixth and 12th. Then you have Jupiter in the seventh, Mars in eighth, Mercury in ninth, Venus and Sun in 10th, Moon in 11th. Of course, Ketu in 12th. Now, guys, what you have to realize is that there will be 5 key houses that we are going to be considering in this exercise, where we have to see what are the numbers written. So in this example, this is a Libra chart, means the Lagna or the ascendant is going to be number 7. Okay, so we have to consider house number 2, house number 4, house number 9, 11, and finally the ascendant or the Lagna itself. Okay, so if you see in this chart, what is house number 2? It has number 8 written in it. Then house number 4 has number 10 written in it. House number 9 has number 3. House number 11 has number 5. And the Lagna has number 7. So please note down these numbers, and what you will see is that 8 plus 10 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7 is what we have to find out. So 18 plus 3, 21, 21 plus 5, 26, 26 plus 5, 33. So we've arrived at 33 as the number for this Libra ascendant. So for all Libras watching, actually I've made your job simple. It's already calculated. 8 plus 10, 18 plus 3, 21 plus 5, 26 plus 7, 33. Okay, I'll take another sample chart for your consideration, and I'll just note this down as exercise 1. Okay, now I'll take another example here, where I'll pick up a Capricorn, Cancer chart, so to speak, on your screen. And this Cancer chart, we will again do the calculations. So we have house number 2 as 5, house number 4 is 7, house number 9 is 12, house number 11 is 2, and the Lagna house is number 4. And we're going to add all these numbers as well. 5 plus 7, 12, 12 plus 12, 24, 25, 26, 30. So if you see for a Cancer ascendant, the sum total of house number 2, 4, 9, 11 and house number 1 is going to come to number 30. Okay. I hope you are with me with this and you've understood step 1 where we are adding the numbers which are put in your particular chart, in your birth chart, based on what your ascendant is. So if this step is clear to you, now we will move on to step number 2. So in step number 2, as you guys can see on the screen, and again, please take a note of the numbers that are allocated against each planet. This is going to be very different from what you typically see. So we see that Sun is given number 1, Moon is given number 2, Jupiter is given number 3, Rahu number 4, Mercury number 5, number 6 is given to Venus, number 7 is given to Ketu, number 8 is given to Saturn, and number 9 is given to Mars, right? This is going to be different. If you guys can see on the screen here, I have put in destiny numbers against each of the planets. So if you see, Sun has number 7, Moon has number 3, Jupiter has number 9, Mercury has number 6, Mars has number 10, Venus has got number 5, and Saturn has got number 1. While Rahu and Ketu are both given number zeros. Okay. So this is step number 2, where you have destiny numbers which have been earmarked against each of these planets. Now we will go back to step number 3. So to execute step number 3, in our first chart, the Libra chart that we picked, we are now going to see that what are the planets that are sitting against these numbers. So if you see in house number 2, there is no planet. In house number 4, there is no planet. In house number 9, you have Mercury. In house number 11, you have Moon. Okay. And there is no other planet in the Lagna as well. So this means that Mercury and Moon are the only 2 planets which will be under the consideration for this exercise. So for step number 3, we are going to add the numbers, the destiny numbers of Mercury and Moon, which is 6 plus 3 equaling 9. If you want to pause this video, take a step back, revise, please feel free to do so. But what essentially you have to do is that in step number 3, you have to check what all planets are placed in house number 2, 4, 9, 11 and your first house or your Lagna house itself. And then based on the destiny number given to each of those planets, the planets which are present within these houses, you have to add up the destiny numbers of those planets. To make it simpler, I'm going to repeat this exercise for the second chart where we have the Cancer ascendant. Now, what do we have here? In the second house, we have Mercury. In the fourth house, we have Saturn and Moon. In the ninth house, we have Rahu. In the 11th house, we have Jupiter. There are a lot of planets actually in this case. And we have Sun and Venus in the Lagna house. Now, if you start allocating numbers, Mercury in the second house, it's got number 6. Then we'll give number 1 to Saturn. To Moon, we give number 3. To Rahu, we give 0. To Jupiter, we are going to give number 9. To Sun, we are going to give number 7. And to Venus, we are going to give number 5. Okay. And now I'm going to add each one of this. 6 plus 1, 7, plus 3, 10, plus 9, 19, plus 7, 26, plus 5, 31. I'm just going to cross check my calculation. 6 plus 1, 7, plus 3, 10, plus 9, 19, 19 plus 12, 31. Correct. All right. So in the first exercise that I was doing, I had my step 1 total as 33 and step 3 total as 9. While in the exercise 2 that I've done, my step 1 total is 30 and step 3 total is 31. Now, if you've concluded this exercise so far and you are with me, we are now going to move to step 4. So in step 4, we are going to be adding both the numbers that we've arrived from step 1 and step 3. So if you see from the exercise that we've done, the value would be 33 plus 9, which is 42. Or the second exercise that we did, the second chart that I put, it would have 30 plus 31 as 61. Okay. So intentionally, I'm trying to give you both examples so that it gives you an understanding as to how it's going to be panning out for you. Now, once you've done the addition in step number 4, what you've got to do is you've got to divide your final total number that you've arrived at, which is in our example uh, 42 and 61 respectively, and we are going to be dividing it by number 12. So if you divide 42 by 12, what would you get? 12 threes are 36. 6 is the remainder. You have to find the remainder after doing your division. So for the first experiment, the remainder is going to be 6. And in the second exercise, when we divide 61 by 12, the remainder is going to be 1. Okay? Now, it's highly probable that for some of you, it would be a complete even division. For example, if you could have got a number 60 or 48 or 36, 72, anything of that sort. So it gets divided by 12 and your remainder will be 0. Okay. So just stay with me and we are going to address that bit as well. Now, what we're going to be doing is that we are going to go back to the example charts that we were looking at. And I'm going to show you the first chart itself, which is the Libra chart. Now, in step number 5, we are going to find that what is the position of the second lord. So if you look into your screen here, which is your second house? It is ruled by Scorpio. And who's the lord of Scorpio? Mars. Where is Mars sitting? It is sitting in the 8th house. Okay. Now we have to find the second lord and we have to count the number of houses of the remainder. So what was the remainder in this case? The total was 42 divided by 12. The remainder was 6. So we are going to count 6 houses from Mars, which is the second lord. So in this case, 6 houses away from Mars would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is your Lagna itself, which is the first house ruled by Venus. Okay. Now this is the planet which is going to be responsible in this particular chart to bestow wealth during its Mahadasha, Antardasha and Pratyantardashas. I hope this is something you were able to figure out, and we are just going to understand a little deeper. But before we take a step ahead, let's look into the second example as well. So the second example is that of the Cancer chart, and what we have here is the total was 61. We divided that by 12. The remainder is 1. Now what we are going to do is look into the chart and see which planet rules the second house. The planet ruling the second house is Sun, because Leo is the sign in the second house. Where is Sun sitting? Incidentally, in this case, Sun is sitting in the first house itself. Now, since Sun is sitting in the first house, one place away from Sun, it is that very house itself. It is so happening that both my examples are getting the Lagna house itself. For you, it could be the third house, it could be the 10th house or whatever it is. But in this case, again, it's the Lagna house. And who's the Lagna lord in this case? It is Moon sitting in the 4th house. Okay. So Moon is again in the second example, the final planet that we were trying to figure out. Now there is also a probability that sorry, actually I need to correct myself. So Moon is the lord in the second example, while in the first example it was Venus. Now the last step number 6 is to see that which dashas are going to be critical, that are going to give that particular period of window for us to make that wealth that we've been talking about. So Venus is Mahadasha, and then you have to look the Antardasha and Pratyantardasha. Now, since there is no planet sitting in this case, the entire Mahadasha plus any Antardashas of Venus in any other Mahadasha or Pratyantardasha of Venus in the Antardasha of Venus or any other Antardasha as well would be the right periods for you to find those gains in life. However, in the second example, where we had Cancer as the Lagna Lord, which is Moon is being the Lagna Lord. What would happen is in Moon's Mahadasha, the Antardasha of Sun and Venus, the planets which are sitting in that house, would be the Karakas that give wealth to this particular native. To make matters simple, what I would also like to call out is, say, for some user or for some viewer, the Mahadasha of Venus or Moon is not even coming into play. Either it has gone by or it is way too far in future and you do not anticipate it. It might come at a very old age. So you have to continue to notice that the planets sitting in those respective house that we found out, or even the core planet itself, which is Venus or Moon in itself, in its Antar and Pratyantar dashas across your life period, would provide you opportunities to make that kind of wealth. Now, the question that would arise for the people who've got the divisor as 0, for you guys, you have to consider the same house itself. You have to assume that it is number 1, the same house itself, that is going to give you the result in your case as well. So I hope, guys, this makes sense. I will try to give another example. Say you are, your Moon Dasha was way back in this particular example itself, and you are currently in your Jupiter Mahadasha. So within the Jupiter Mahadasha, whenever the Antardasha of Sun comes, or Venus comes, or Moon comes, those are the periods when you will have the biggest opportunities of your life to create an impact. Even the periods within the Jupiter Mahadasha, Sun Antardasha and Moon Pratyantardasha, or Sun Antardasha and Venus Pratyantardasha, or Venus Antardasha and Sun Pratyantardasha or Moon Pratyantardasha, those periods will be again generating lucrative opportunities for you. So I hope, guys, you've enjoyed this experiment. It's an interesting exercise. Please check if this is making sense in your chart as well. Do not choke my neck if you have not found the right opportunities yet, but I'm really hopeful and confident that you do in future. I did this experiment in my own chart. What you could realize is that the opportunities might come in the form of a job switch. You make a career switch and you get a multiplier of 3x to your base salary. The opportunities could be in the right investment you made during that period. You bought a right home, you purchased right stocks, cryptocurrencies, and there is a windfall gain which has come through. The opportunities could have come in terms of you doing a new brand deal, a new business deal, or partnership with collaboration with somebody. It could also be in some cases where you get associated in marriage partnership and you are get accumulating a lot of gifts and wealth during that period as well, right? So those kind of things could also be seen. These are the kind of life events or triggers that might come into play, and that might be resulting into the money or the wealth that you would be making. Insurance related issues, inheritance kind of things are also a probability. So these dashas and pratyantar dashas will give you that sense. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please smash that like button and subscribe to my channel and remain connected with Vedic Astrology. Thank you for watching. Om Namah Shivaya.